Welcome to Real Talk Wrestling. I'm your host, Josh. With me, Miami Clutch PE. And if you think you're missing somebody, you are. We're missing El Ginger Americano. He was so mad. Get this, Clutch. Get this. And this is a true text, true statement. He is so mad that I won the WWE WrestleMania championship from both y'all in the triple threat match we had. I said, "You want to run it back with Backlash, tough guy?" He said, "Yeah, I do." I said, "You want to run it back with confidence points again?" He goes, "Yeah, I do." He didn't show up. Listen,
Wow.
when you don't show up, that means you concede. So therefore, I don't know. I didn't ask you this. Do you want a piece of my title? Do you want to go after the confidence points championship, or do you just want to let it be and we'll defend it next time?
That's a good question.
I
We can
mean,
just wait for Chris for the next time. I think
all
it's
right,
fine.
all right, all right. I mean, I was gonna win it anyway, but
Yeah,
um,
I'm too scared of you, man. I'm sorry.
yeah, I'm the last real champion right here, Josh Kimmel. But yes, we have WWE Backlash happening this weekend. I believe it's a Saturday show, 7 p.m. I love the Saturday shows. I love that they started doing shows on a Saturday, and I love that the start time is a little bit earlier than normal. 7 p.m. is perfect for me. I'm not sure how your schedule, how that lines up with you over there, but man, let me tell you, as an East Coast dad, Saturday 7 p.m. way better than Sunday 8 p.m. Just saying. So well done. Um,
Well, yeah. For Europe, 1 a. The difference between 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. is massive. So I'll take it.
For sure. So we are going to be breaking down the 2025 Backlash matches, talking about the matchups in the pay per view itself. But before we do that, I just want to let everyone know if everyone's watching on the Finns Talk Sports Network, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We have another wrestling show that I am also on. That'll be Saturday before Backlash. So me and Bobby will be speaking about this show a little bit further. We'll have SmackDown to review as well. SmackDown is tomorrow night, and there should be another John Cena Randy Orton segment that was not. There was no segment of John Cena Orton on Raw, right? I didn't miss that. It was only a 2 hour show. I
No,
didn't miss that, did I?
no.
Yeah, first. I mean, I watched all of Raw. I'm like, I didn't see any of them. So we'll see some more of them on SmackDown, as well as the Damian Priest LA Knight situation, which we didn't talk about that. I'm into that. Um, if you want to talk about that real quick, because I do with you, I like the dynamic of okay, what does LA Knight do now? What does Damian Priest do now? They both lost at WrestleMania and they got into a little interaction. I'm like, okay, this is good because I didn't think that they would ever interact in any kind of ring or any kind of promo because they're both baby faces and they're both older. And I don't know if they want to turn them heel at this point, but I would enjoy an LA Knight heel turn at this point. But right now it's leaning towards Priest is going heel because he's the one who interfered and LA Knight's got the problem. It'd be weird if Knight turned heel. So, are you enjoying this? Is this something you want to see?
I like that there's more of a blurring of the lines between heel and babyface in certain things. And now with Jacob being the champion for the US division, I mean, it gives you that those baby faces a chance to kind of blur the lines because they're all going for the same goal and they're gonna butt heads trying to get there. So it's a nice dynamic, and they've both been heels before. They've both been good heels before, so they can probably like play off each other more. Maybe not one designated guy, but just like when the situation commands it, I guess.
Yes, I 1000% agree with that. Cat for Light wants to know what the hell's going on with this belt Gable has. I'm sorry, El Grande Americano.
Two
What?
different people. Nope.
Yeah, yeah, Cap. Yes, yes. Sorry, my son just asked me if I'm going to make him dinner. Yes, son. After the show, I'll make you dinner. I'm a Rey Mysterio kind of dad, right? Deadbeat. I'll make him dinner after. So I can't wait till he grows up one day and grows a mullet and a mustache and just beats the hell out of me on Thanksgiving. It's gonna be fun times. Um, yes, I'm actually very interested in this mid card because we talked about the mid card on the SmackDown side last week. Remember about I'm like I think Rusev should go there. I think I'm glad Malachi went there, but they were lacking in my opinion on the mid card side. It's because I think it's a 3 hour TV show compared to Raw where it's 2 hours. You don't need to get as many matches or segments in, of course, because you're missing a full 60 minutes. But I just wanted to side note on that real quick. Raw opened up this week with an amazing promo by Paul Heyman, and we're seeing a trend with WWE heels. I watched a interview with Drew McIntyre on YouTube, and it was a recent interview. And it was from someone over there across a UK interviewer. He's very famous. If you just look up Chris Jericho shoots or Jim Ross shoots or anyone shoots, that's the way the guy titles his YouTube channel, all of his videos, you'll find it. And he interviewed Drew McIntyre, and he kind of took some shots at Vince and how he loves the new administration and they're letting him be himself, and why he walked out the night of Survivor Series when CM Punk showed up, and how Seth was really pissed off about it, and how everybody was mad about it because nobody was told. And he loved how anyway. Long story short is he's able to tell the truth, blur the lines, and get over as a heel because in reality, every great heel needs to be right, vindicated. They think they're right. So Paul Heyman gave a great explanation on Raw on why he did what he did to Jey Uso, who's involved, obviously has huge history with the Bloodline. That's Roman Reigns' cousin, of course, right? I thought this was one of Paul Heyman's greatest promos in his entire career. How say you, sir?
I thought it was great. I was waiting for that to come back around. He's like, yeah, he left me high and dry in Madison Square Garden to fend for myself against Solo and the Bloodline. He made points for everything, and you make a good point. Like the heels, like recently, have valid gripes against the people they're against, and it makes for good TV because it makes sense. What they're saying is not heelish stuff. It's you're like, okay, he's got a point, and Paul Heyman does that, but like times 10 because he's already one of the best promos in the entire company. But when what he delivers, I don't know. He knows how to display emotion more than most people. Mm-hmm. And now with this past one, he was just I thought he was gonna like drop from a heart attack. How hard he was going at the camera in the promo, and it was great. It was amazing. And I just realized I have the wrong picture. You can see how I got confused between both of them. It's yes. kind of the same picture, but I realized I had the wrong one. My bad,
dude. I will say this. We as like the IWC or people on the internet that talk wrestling make fun of the Adam Coles or the MJFs of the world with their bad tans over there on AEW on Wednesday night. Brother, we can't talk about bad tans anymore. If you look Paul Heyman in the face close up, it looked like a big fat potato. And you saw the line clearly break right here. Like the whole neck was super white and his face was brown. It looked really, like I texted you or in the group chat. It looked really good from far away. But when they did close-ups on him, I couldn't stop laughing. Like it was bad. But is that the gimmick? You think that's a gimmick? Because Paul Heyman doesn't do anything without, I guess, conviction or something behind it. Is that their gimmick? Like we're just super tan awesome guys now? Braun Breaker? I don't understand. I don't know.
Next thing you know, Seth is going to show up all Braun stuff.
I guess, man. But I'm really into the story. I'm really into what's going to happen. I'm really into Seth eventually winning that title back. It's really weird how, I guess not weird, but I will say this. Gunther was a great champion, but that's still being seen as the secondary title. Bobby calls it the title of opportunity. It should go to the people that need, a push or to get over. I think Seth and Paul Heyman are going to make that the title to win. Whereas I'm not digging this John Cena nonsense whatsoever. None of it makes sense. I don't want to get in too much of it, but we can. Randy Orton says 1 week, this isn't you, John. Hustle, loyalty, respect. What happened to that John? Blah, 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 trying to get him back to his normal self. And then last week, he comes out, I've known this John all along. He's always been a selfish prick. He's raising his prices. So which one is it, dude? Is it this isn't you or this has always been you? So I think that's a little bit of, I think that's why it's taking me out of it because I'm not buying this whole John Cena heel turn. I don't know. And it's hard for Randy Orton himself to carry a feud because he's never been that guy. Yes, he can talk on the mic, but he's not a CM Punk or a Cody Rhodes or even a John Cena, of course. So how do you feel about this going into Backlash?
I like it in the sense that it's nostalgia for me. I grew up on it. I like the match. I like the matchup. And I hope to see more matches like this down the road with like old foes with roles reversed. And I find that pretty cool. down the line against CM Punk, that would be awesome. But yeah, the build-up has been weird because it's, you said it, kind of Randy contradicting himself from week to week. And when he has nobody to, like, I guess, go off of, because Cena's not there half the time, and now it's kind of weird to have just one guy build up a feud, and that's kind of like, I think I made similar comments to a much lesser degree with Cody and Roman, where Cody was setting up the feud and Roman was nowhere to be seen. So it's hard, and it takes the fan out of the enjoyment or the hype for the match when one half of the match is not there. Maybe we get back on track on Friday right before Backlash and make it a little bit more interesting. But right now, yeah, it's a main event for a B tier show, which is fine, I guess. But yeah, it's definitely lacking. We could have gotten a better Orton and Cena build up.
So you said B tier B tier show, which we are going to cycle right into Backlash. I like these kind of shows. They're very short, wrestling centric, pretty decent matches, right? We're gonna start at the bottom, and this literally is the bottom of the barrel, right? The WWE Women's Championship, Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax. Nia's returned to no one's happiness at all, and she is stuck right into this championship match. And we were just talking off air about this match, how this shouldn't be the match on Backlash. If you wanted a defense, it should have been someone like a Neo Sky versus Roxanne Perez if you wanted that pop, because that obviously is a much better match, and the fans would much more appreciate that match than, I'm sorry, Nia Jax. It's just the way it is. Nobody can get behind Nia Jax or the thought of her winning this title again without cringing, honestly. And Tiffany Stratton has taken a kind of downward swing because of the whole Charlotte Flair situation. How do you feel about this? Do you think this is just a easy win for Tiffy to get back over with the fans because, hey, Triple H is like, nobody likes Nia. We want Tiffy to be cheered. How do we do this? Well, put her against someone no one wants. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, it should be that, just an easy win for Tiffy, get back on track, move on to the next thing, and wash her hands off that Charlotte feud that was awful. And yeah, but you kind of said it. This shouldn't be the match for Backlash. You have such a good build going on with introducing new women on Raw, not just not just Roxanne, not Julia as well. And then Stephanie has been there 2 out of the last 3 weeks, having good matches. So you have, like, a lot going on that side, and you don't put that on the pay-per-view. You put that on Raw. And yes, I get you need good matches on Raw because who the hell doesn't want it? But at the same time, it's one of those kind of matches where you're like, okay, that's a lot more interesting than what you have going on in the actual, like, highlight show of the week or the month.
Yes. I would be so much happier if this was a triple threat match or a fatal four-way match for a number one contenders match. We already have a women's championship match on the line in this pay-per-view. I feel like we are missing this whole, like, well, Jade and Naomi and this person and that person. You could easily have a match that will be for the number one contendership. And if you want Naomi to go over to face Tiffy, because I think that's where they're leaning, at least that's what I think, that would have been way more entertaining than just, oh, yeah, Tiffy time. Yep, she's going to do the moonsault and win. Because that's what's going to happen. Does anyone believe Nia's going to win this title? No. But if you would have had the women that are going after Tiffy go for the number one contendership match, yes, we would go, oh, well, I think Jade's going to win because Jade's getting this and that. Oh, no, I think Naomi should win because she's the heel and she just turned heel. Well, I think whatever you want to do. We would have such a bigger conversation with that rather than just, oh yeah, 10 minutes, Tiffy, moonsault, 1, 2, 3. I mean, that's clearly going to happen, right? Unless they just lost faith in her and they're just going to put the title back on Nia. And then they're going to do Jade versus Nia. That's the only thing I could think of.
I would hate that.
Yeah, we would all hate that. That's why they took it off of WrestleMania. Or at least that's whatever, the preview of 2 Unreal said. Did you ever watch that show? Did it ever debut?
Did not.
Yeah, I don't. I have zero interest in watching
I
the
think
show.
it's debuting in the summer or something. I haven't heard of it since WrestleMania.
Yeah, well, I see the commercials once in a while, but other than that, we're gonna go on, move on to Dominic Mysterio versus Penta Intercontinental Championship match. I think this is going to be awesome. Penta had a great match versus JD McDonough. Love JD McDonough. Glad he's back. Did you hear Michael Cole and Pat McAfee giving this guy props the entire match now? Like he's the new, like this is the toughest SOB in the company, right? He has to be.
Yeah, he's got to be. I mean,
Yeah.
the hits he took in the last match we saw before he had to like step away, he took some gnarly hits, and he kind of earned that like thing. Of he's a tough guy, dude, and we got to start treating him more like that instead of the big head jokes and all that. Like treat him a little bit more seriously, because that dude is a badass. He was a good wrestler much before that in NXT and NXT UK or whatever, and I want to see them take him a little bit more serious.
That'd be ideal. I don't think Penta's gonna win this match. I think Dominic has to win. Do we see the debut of the new member of the Judgment Day that they've been teasing for months and months and months? Like, is that the way? And then maybe Finn Balor gets upset. I don't know how they're gonna, because I don't think one-on-one clean Dominic should pin Penta. I think Dominic needs a cheat to win this match somehow. And if it's just Finn Balor again, then what's the whole point? I think it needs to be someone new to make Finn Balor even more jealous. Have you heard anything down the grapevine of like, oh yeah, this person can be it, this person can be it, or do they scrap it?
I have no idea if for the Judgment Day, but I did hear this. I think he used to be in AEW. You can correct me. Jeff Cobb.
Yeah.
I saw.
New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
And he wrestled on AEW. Yep.
I saw like right before the show as they were saying that he's set to debut imminently on the main roster.
Really?
So I don't know where he fits in. Maybe. Really? I don't know.
Jeff Cobb is a tiny little man. Big. I don't know how to feel about Jeff Cobb. Every time I saw him, I wasn't really impressed. Really? Jeff Cobb. In the chat, if you were impressed by Jeff Cobb, let me know. I never was. And that's a name that I don't think would get any pop. I don't think he would get any reaction at all. Did you know who Jeff Cobb was?
No, not really.
So I'm saying, I don't think that would go over well. I wish they would have saved Malachi Black or Alistair, whatever they call him. Alistair. I'm still going to call him Malachi until I get used to him being back. But I don't know, man. Oh, we'll see. Could it be someone from NXT that we don't even talk about yet?
For the Judgment Day, I don't see anybody that would even fit. I don't even think anybody from the guys, because the guys aren't as ready to be called up as the women who are being called up. Yeah, they're not ready yet. I mean, Obafemi is, but he's still like running stuff down there.
Yep, he's still the champ down there, which I did turn on NXT on Tuesday night, by the way. I just want to let everyone know that I turned on NXT. Don't ask me what I was watching. Those people that I didn't know who they were. Huh?
Is it because you believe?
Yes. Actually, yes. It was a tag team match. Joe Hendry was involved, but I didn't stay to watch it. I didn't. Who won that match? Joe Hendry?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Because I didn't catch the end either. I'm not even going to lie to you. But
I'm not going to lie.
It was a late night for me.
It was like 8:10 at night. I'm like, let me just check out NXT. What channel is CW on? What channel is the CW? So I had to look it up. I'm like, all right, that's the CW. Then I heard Booker. I saw Joe Hendry, and I'm like, oh, a tag team match. Let me get interested in this. And then my son called me downstairs for some reason, and that was the end of it. I never came back. But yeah, I did turn it on for. I gave that quarter hour a couple demographics views or whatever they call them, ratings. Yeah, I helped him out a little bit. All right, next match, Jacob Fatu. This could be by the way, the best match of the night. Jacob Fatu, Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, Damian Priest for the United States Championship. The U.S. title, in my opinion, was dead on arrival for the past 2 years. I have not cared about this title whatsoever, even with LA Knight carrying this title because of who he was feuding with. I did not care about Nakamura. I did not care about anything regarding the U.S. title. I do now. And it's because of Jacob Fatu and Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre and LA Knight. These are 4 superstars that should be in the or could be in the main event at any point. This match is going to be a killer match. Jacob Fatu just won this title. Don't see him dropping it right away, but a fatal 4-way match does set it up for that. But again, this has to lead for Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu down the line. Are you interested in that at all? And if you are, does this title have to be on the line in that feud?
I think I am interested down the line. There's a story there, which they kind of like went away from the when Jacob was following Solo, the whole "I love you" and things like that. If you can circle back to something like that, and because Jacob can speak on the mic better than most people in the WWE, I think, and when he really gets going, and I think they can do something cool, especially on Jacob's side, and obviously he would win. And just having the title on the line, a little bit extra stakes, and Jacob showing why he's holding the title for the family and not him, not a Solo. I think it'd be a good dynamic. I'd be interested in that match, and I think we'd probably get it somewhere down the line, maybe a SummerSlam match.
Are we ready for a babyface Jacob Fatu? Because we ain't cheering Solo. Like, people come on saying Jacob's going to turn on him and Jacob's going to destroy him. There ain't no way we're cheering Solo Sikoa ever. Like, he's fallen out of favor with the fans. Jacob Fatu is clearly taking over that spot. But I don't know if I want to see a babyface Jacob Fatu at all. Like, literally zero chance at that. How about you?
I'd rather see him do what he's been doing, but at the same time, just like accepting that the fans are going to cheer it, because they'll chant for Fatu and then they'll do all that. So just let him do what he's been doing. They're going to cheer him anyways. That way he doesn't have to like do babyface, like, I guess, tactics or whatever, and just keep doing his own stuff. And I think that's the way to go, because I don't think you can get people to boo him at this point.
No, I definitely don't think we can get people to boo Fatu. I don't think anyone's booing McIntyre. I mean, we'll boo McIntyre because that's the whole state of wrestling nowadays, especially in the WWE, is we love, like, literally almost everyone in this match. Yes, there's the Damian Priest haters. People don't like Damian Priest for some reason. Not sure why. I love him. But he does have his haters out there, and he's probably the most hated in this match. But even him, we'll play along. We'll boo. We'll cheer Jacob Fatu as a wrestler, but when he's on the mic, we'll boo, right? That's what we're supposed to do. WWE crowds are like, Seth Rollins. We'll do the thing, and then once he gets to the mic, we'll go, okay, it's time for us to do the boo thing. All right, boo. Like, but we all love it. So it's such a weird world we live in now, especially with pro wrestling. You see that? You see how my mic just did that?
Yeah.
Sorry, Bobby. But I just think that it's fun. You're right. Jacob Fatu, you can still keep him a killer. We as fans know we should be booing him. So I guess it's a little bit better. Next matchup, zero interest. I'm just going to put it out there, zero interest. How can you get over a commentator being somewhat competitive with one of your top 3 wrestlers in the company? I don't see how this is going to work out. The only way they can do this to be successful is Gunther beats him in 30 seconds, and we have Gunther's next opponent come out to save Pat McAfee, or the match just never happens and Gunther just gets disqualified for beating the hell out of Pat McAfee. Because if Pat McAfee gets any offense in this match, I'm going to be scratching my head. I feel like I'm on an island by myself, though. I really do.
A little bit, I guess, because I keep going back, and I think I mentioned it last time, and you give me a rebuttal to this, but I go back to, I remember watching NXT, and when McAfee was there, and he had a straight up one-on-one match against Adam Cole when Adam Cole was the face of NXT, and it was really good. And McAfee got his offense in and everything, and it was really good. Granted, Adam Cole is Adam Cole, and he's a smaller guy that you can believably get some hits in against. And we're talking about Gunther here, who is a monster. So there is that difference. I can see maybe McAfee doing one small, like, I guess, rally and then just getting choked out. And I had the same kind of prediction as you did, where the next guy for Gunther is going to come and help McAfee at the end. And sadly, I think I have my prediction for who it is.
Ooh.
because I've also seen like a name being thrown out for Gunther, and I don't like it, but
If it's Goldberg, I'm gonna flip out.
it is. I think it's Goldberg.
I think it's Goldberg too. I think it's Goldberg setting up for a crown jewel or his finish or his last match. And I'm so listen, I will say this to everyone watching, to everybody, to you, to Chris Koffler, if you're I'm sorry, El Grande, El Ginger, or whatever your name is. God darn it. I'm glad that this Goldberg match is happening now instead of at WrestleMania or any other major pay-per-view when Gunther had the title. I am so grateful that they didn't have to throw in a Goldberg match in his title reign because Gunther's above that. He's better than that. I do think of the NFL ties. Oh, look, he was an NFL player. I'm an NFL player. He played for the Falcons, whatever. Goldberg comes out and gets his stuff on Gunther and they have a match. Sure. Get it over with. We knew it was going to happen. Again, just very thankful it was not on a major pay-per-view that we actually cared about. And I'm going to leave it at that. But I do see Goldberg coming back. It's such a bad call. Are you into it? Will you pop?
No,
Oh.
I can't even lie to myself and be like, I'd be like, okay, and just leave it at that. And I hope that match goes as I wanted to, and just Gunther chopping the hell out of him and ending up with the win. Because if he wins, then I don't know what the hell's going on anymore.
Pat McAfee? He ain't
No,
winning this match.
no, Goldberg. I'm talking about like
Goldberg. Oh yeah, for sure. I would like to see. Here's what I like to see this match. If Goldberg and Gunther wrestle, I want to see Goldberg go for the spear, and I want Gunther to no sell it. Just have Goldberg fall to the floor, and then get his ass and choke him out in 30 seconds. Get it over with. Like I don't want to see it, dude. Nobody does. Paul, Triple H. Nobody wants Goldberg. Not one person on this planet. Maybe Bobby Melendez. Nobody else.
I feel like this is a match Bobby would actually enjoy.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to talk to Bobby on Saturday about this, by the way. And I already texted him earlier about this next match. I don't even know where to start with Becky Lynch. Garbage would be the word, I guess. Garbage. Did she say garbage? I think she said the word garbage once or twice.
She did say garbage.
She said garbage. That promo was garbage. This return is garbage. Am I on an island again? I am so over Becky Lynch already, dude. I really am. I can't buy it. I don't want to buy it. And then Lyra. Man, I feel like I'm just shitting on everyone today. I'm sorry, guys. I'm such in a bad mood. I'll get better because we have some good matches coming up or one more. Lyra, you're the first ever woman to main event WrestleMania. Okay, yep, check. All right. You're the first woman to win the WrestleMania. Yep, check. You're the first SmackDown champ. Yep, check. But I'm the first IC title. Who gives a fuck, brother? Sorry, Bobby. But you think Becky cares? That'd be like literally Pat McAfee winning the Super Bowl. And then some CFL person. I won the CFL championship. You didn't. Nobody cares, dude. Nobody cares about the IC title. It's nothing yet. It literally is nothing. She's done the least amount of work with that belt than any other person championship active right now. Chelsea Green did way more for the U.S. women's title than Lyra ever did with this IC championship. So nobody cares. So that statement was dumb. Becky needs to win this match, squash her, and let's get the real champions. Let's get Becky and Bayley because that's what we all want to see. Right? Right?
Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see it. But you kind of like made a point about Becky where I'm not done with Becky. I like Becky. But at the same time, something about these horsewomen that is just off. Because every time Charlotte came back off. Bayley, what she's been doing,
Yeah.
And now Becky feels flat so far. I mean, it can always pick up, but it feels flat. And yeah, something about these horsewomen. The best one, the one that's doing the best right now is not in the company. And
really, you're gonna admit that? Because Chris isn't here, right? Because Chris isn't here.
okay, one, because Chris isn't here, and two, because the other three are just so bad right now.
Brother, you don't gotta tell me you signed up for that $99 tech service. I know you did. It's fine. We're all marks here. It's a safe space. I wasn't gonna bring that up tonight. Whew, but she is doing the best, by the way. Mercedes is crushed. I don't care what anyone says. Her wrestling's still there. She's still in her prime. She still needs some work on her storytelling, but she's fucking killing it over there, doing her thing. But yeah, Becky, it just seems like the same thing over and over and over. You know, she comes back, she does this, she turns on her partner, she turns heel, she does this weird voice, this tough guy voice. It's like I don't know, man. I think there is something off with this. And I don't know if it's being forced, like, oh, we should care about Lyra versus Becky. To be completely honest with you, as an outsider who doesn't consume the internet anymore, I don't know their story. You know, and I would say the same thing about AEW. Like, why would I care about this person versus this person? We got to look at it. They're on Twitter feuding. Well, I don't go on Twitter, bro. I just watch TV shows. So like, I don't care why Lyra and Becky are feuding. Where's the story? I don't see the story there. It's just what they're both Irish.
Basically, I mean, the story back then was like Lyra is Irish. She looked up to Becky getting into the industry, and she
Was that on
became a
TV ever?
mentor. Yeah,
Was
it
that
was.
okay? All right. Well, then fair
It
enough.
was like right before Becky left.
Fair
And
enough.
yeah, I mean that's a story, I guess. Mentor and feels betrayed by the mentor, and the mentor betrays. Yeah, a bunch of bullshit. I don't care.
Let's just get to Bailey, because that's, you know, when Becky comes out and just starts talking about Bailey ASAP, that's where we know the story is. It's not Lyra. And I feel bad for Lyra because they tried to do their darndest to get her over. And I think she's great. I think she's a great in-ring worker. But I think that's all she's going to be. I don't think she's ever going to be a superstar. There's too many women getting called up. And here's the bottom line. You know, especially in the women's division. I was trying to explain this to Bobby on Saturday, and he didn't want to get through his head. And I tried to explain to a lot of people. Women have a shorter shelf life than men in the wrestling world. And it's a fact. They don't do it as long. They don't. So when they do hang around as long as they do, we're already ready for Julia. We're already ready for Vakir. We're already ready for Roxanne. We're already ready for Io. I mean, she's already there. But you know what I mean? Now Becky, Charlotte, Bailey, they seem like they're the legends holding on, and there's not a spot for them anymore. We want the up-and-comers. There's no reason why Jordynne Grace isn't on the main roster. There's no reason why we're still seeing Becky Lynch and Bailey and Charlotte still being a prominent figure on television at this point. Women wrestling, they cycle through very quickly. And it's true. It's just the truth. Whether you want to argue it or not, it's always been like that. Right? Am I crazy? They have 2 years on top and then they're gone.
No, it is much quicker than the men. I mean, you see guys like, I guess Seth Rollins hovering around the top for 10 years plus, Roman 10 years plus. And then, yeah, you like Becky's peak, Charlotte's peak, and I'm talking like peak. They've been up there. Roman's up for 10 years, they're up for 5. And that's kind of how it's been working. Now it's not their division anymore. It's Rhea's. It's Io's. And before you know it, Rhea's going to be the older person, and then the next person, we're going to want the next person coming up. And it's just going to work like that. And yeah, it is a shorter shelf life for the women, at least like on the top of the division. So maybe I'm trying to look at it in the positive light. Maybe Becky winning the IC titles for the best, because then you can make that division a little bit legitimate and have those women that aren't at the top anymore still be competitive for another title. And maybe you can do it that way. But yeah, you're right about your point there.
And it's just like they have less TV time because if we want to be realistic, like we love women wrestling. We do. Me and you love women's wrestling. Chris does too. A lot of people do. But it's kind of like the whole situation where, tell us, right? Like the firings, like all the releases that happened. People are up in arms. Oh, I can't believe this person got released. I can't believe this person got. Are you serious? Cora Jade, what's her name? She was a damage control. Dakota Kai. Yeah. Can't believe it. It's like, brother, they were never on TV. Were you buying their merch? Were you chanting their names? Were you giving them pops when they came out? No, you weren't. Because I went to a SmackDown Live and I saw these people come out. Braun Strowman come out, got no pop. Nia Jax literally got 0 pop. Like crickets. They listen. Triple H, TKO, they all listen. And if you don't look at Karrion Kross right now, he was dead in the water. Literally, he was a secondary character. His whole gimmick was, I'm going to tell these good guys to do bad things. And nothing happened. That was his gimmick for like 2 months. He cuts a great promo that was scripted, but a shoot. We're all chanting his name now. We all want Karrion Kross. There's give Karrion Kross a chance posters. There's everything. He's getting over by himself. These women just aren't. They're not, because you know what? At the end of the day, and I hate to be this guy, but it's true. The men's wrestling is up here and the women's wrestling still down here, still, because it's very difficult for them to tell a story and us men be invested unless there's a title involved. There's never been a real blood feud like Seth and CM Punk with no title, or Drew and CM Punk with no title. We don't get those. It's always for a title. And until we get invested in their emotions and their stories, like Tony Storm and Mariah May, still a title was involved. But I think if you took that title away, that would have got over. Mickey James and Trish Stratus, that was a great story. But they're so limited. I feel like they don't put as much effort into it. The writing team, that is. Am I going to get us canceled for that?
No, you're not. I agree, and I hope, because I think the plan is still to do another Evolution soon,
Mm-hmm.
and that's having an all women's card, and maybe that can get the interest back in the women's division. A little bit more focus on storylines, more TV time to lead up to the event, and that's my hope. Because TV time is very limited, and it's just, when women's wrestling is good, it's really, really good. But the problem is, when it's bad, it's horribly bad.
Yes.
And the lows of the lows are much worse than the lows of the lows for the men. And that's just what it is.
You either have Charlotte at her peak or you have BFAB, right? Like, there's no, I don't know how to say it. You're right, though. When it's bad, it's bad. But when it's great, it's great. Io and Roxanne were great. That match was fun to watch.
Yeah.
And it's probably not even their best matches, but I don't know. And again, us men, we just want to see big sweaty dudes beat each other up. Speaking of that, we got Lego head John Cena, champion, the last real champion, versus Randy Orton in the main event of Backlash. This, like you said, you grew up on it. I was watching this feud as I never got out of wrestling. So I want to make that clear to everybody. I never not watched wrestling, but there was a good chunk of my life where my wrestling came from other people telling me what was going on, or Instagram or Facebook at the time. Yeah, Facebook, back when I had that. And this wasn't there because I was still watching it, but I didn't watch it as much as you. Like, my childhood feuds were more of like Chris Jericho versus Shawn Michaels, right? Chris Jericho versus Goldberg back in WCW. That wasn't even a real feud, but it was a core memory in my head. So I don't feel the same nostalgia as you, but I'm really into it. Are you interested in a rematch of this? Like a second match when John wins, or are you just one and done and you'll be satisfied?
No, I'm satisfied after one. I just wanted to see it one more time, and I'll get it. I like the idea, if that's what they're doing, of John just facing his old foes, and if they go down that route, Randy Orton now, CM Punk in 2 months. I ran out of names already, but yeah.
Really? Rusev.
I guess.
That was a good feud, brother, but I know they won't do it.
Yeah, do you want to throw Rusev in John Cena's final year when he's so limited with the people he can work with?
I know.
Also, interestingly enough, that they're gonna get back to Cody, who we haven't seen for the longest time since he's been in WWE. We haven't seen him since WrestleMania. This is like a Roman Reigns kind of disappearance, and I think he'll be back soon. But maybe needed a little bit of time to breathe. He just lost the biggest match of his life, I guess, and in his first title reign's over. So it kind of needed a little bit of time to breathe. So I'm not mad at it.
Was that his biggest match of his life?
Okay, I maybe overstated that.
No. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just thinking, because it's John Cena. It's WrestleMania.
It is, it is and it isn't, because I don't think you can really top WrestleMania 40 in terms of how big it was for him. And more, I guess I was more going towards the sense of, it's his first title run coming to an end against a guy that helped him grow up in the industry, I guess. because he was his driver at the end when they were like
Mhm.
riding around back then. So I think it was just that. And yeah, it was a big match for him, obviously, because Cena's been the face of WWE for how long, and then Cody's taking that mantle, and then it's kind of like a passing of the torch, but it's not because
Mhm.
it's heel versus face. It's the whole thing.
I would argue, and this is off topic, just because I was watching a Jim Ross video, by the way, Jim Ross, openly on this, because I don't know what got me to this rabbit hole, but I watched the same UK guy, and he just interviews wrestlers, and they just talk about obviously shoots and stuff. JR openly was like, yeah, they pay me, so whatever, I just show up. Like, they pay me a lot. I got my money, my check clears. But he brought up Dustin and Cody. And I was thinking about it. And I rewatched that match recently. Bobby just rewatched that match recently. That has to be top 3 most important matches of his career. And I'll tell you why. And again, not arguing John Cena or Roman. Those are up there as well. That catapulted his career. I don't think with that match, he wouldn't have been back in WWE. If that match failed, AEW would have failed. That was the most important match in AEW's history. I don't know if you ever watched it, but Cody and Dustin, that still holds up today. And if I were you, I would go on YouTube or whatever you can, and I would go watch that match. Hands down. One of his best matches of all time.
That's the one match I actually vividly remember from AEW.
Okay. Well, I don't think it was AEW at the time. I think they were still in it. I think that was the first All In, and they weren't officially AEW yet.
Was it All In or was it Double or Nothing?
Could have been Double or Nothing. See, I'm wrong. If anyone knows, let me know. But I just
that was the throw-in entrance, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I think it was Double or Nothing, but yeah.
Okay. Oh yes, because that's when Jon Moxley debuted at the end. Yes. So it was an AEW show because Jon Moxley debuted, and then he got Kenny on the chips. Yes, I remember that match. Yes. Okay. So yeah, it was an AEW match. But yeah, I think that's up there as well. And I think people need to watch that match if you haven't watched it. If you're a WWE fan and you've never watched AEW, and I don't blame you for it at all. Trust me, I didn't watch it last week. I didn't watch it 2 weeks ago. I have no idea what's going on in AEW, except for MJF is still trying to stooge for the Hurt Business Syndicate, MVP, whatever they're called. But that's one of the greatest matches of Cody's career, man. I freaking love that match. But anyway, yeah, that's the show. That's the whole show. We're gonna watch Backlash. We'll be back next week to talk about Backlash, talk about what's going on, talk about AEW maybe, right? No, we're not talking AEW unless Chris wants to bring it up. I didn't do my whole sell this week because again, I have not paid attention to what's going on over there, but I have been locked in on WWE, and I know you have been too. And I'm as excited for the whole summer. We have Cena, the last world champion. We have a lot of things going on. Sheamus came back. Right?
He did.
He beat up Austin Theory. Dude, how do you think Vince feels? Triple H is burying every single Vince pet project, and I freaking love it. Poor Austin Theory, though. Seriously, I think he could have been something great. He could have been a great heel. You know what they should have done with those guys, by the way, before we log off?
What?
Logan Paul, his lackeys. It might be underneath them. You might think it's underneath them, or beneath them. Everyone else might. But bro, you don't think they would get over as 2 douchebag guys helping out Logan Paul? Just saying, just throwing it out there. That would have been a perfect spot for them. But be that as it may, I'm going to leave it off at that. Clutch, thank you so much for coming a little early with me. Everyone that's watching, I see Cap, I see Raphael. I know Justin Toner might be tuning in a little bit. His show's a little bit later tonight. So we did go early. We usually start now, which is 7:15 p.m. We want to get in here early and let you guys have a nice night. So until then, we'll be back next week. Clutch, you got any last words for us? I usually let that Chris do that. You got any last words?
Kind of caught me on the spot right now.
No, you don't have to.
No, not really. Looking forward to. I am indeed looking forward to Randy and Cena just because of the whole nostalgia thing I'm talking about. But yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to talking about it.
And I'm also looking forward to R-Truth helping John Cena win throughout the entire summer. We didn't even talk about that, but when it does happen, you heard it here first. R-Truth is turning heel with John Cena at Backlash. I can't wait for it. We'll talk about it later. Peace out, guys.